Hey everyone, Jay here from TinyWanderland. Before we get started, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, and all that good stuff on the social media, please. We really do appreciate that. We'll keep you updated. Welcome to part 6 of the TinyWanderland. Sorry I haven't been able to get it up so quickly. Life has been taking me in other directions, and I've been busy and haven't had a chance to really attend to this. And I know I need to get the story out for you guys because I know it's important. So let's get right into it, shall we? Part 6 is a special, very special to me because of what took place. Lots of things took place, but we're going to get right into exactly what those were. Starting with, I guess, Heather took a picture of me that day when I was waking up, and then of course there were the horses, and of course the obligatory food at camp, chowing down. But why would we be getting up so early, you say? We had just come back from the crazy Muddy Creek adventure and barely survived with our lives, but why would we be going back over the mountain? Well, if you guessed, we were headed to Jolly's Trailer Sales. You guessed it. We were meeting with Danny from Jolly's Trailer Sales. Danny and Abby, is his daughter, and Bracken, his assistant. They run Jolly's Trailer Sales in Cedar City, Utah. Great place to get a trailer, by the way, if you can find a trailer, okay? Because I know that right now that's crazy, but Danny will hook you up. He's a great guy, and he will go above and beyond the sale, as you're going to find out in this video. So first thing I will tell you is that when we got there, Danny said, when I called, Danny's like, oh, your SUV's ready for a trailer. I said, yeah, it's got the hookup. And when he said the hookup, I thought he was talking about the 2 prongs that are underneath the Sorrento, the plugs that plug into a trailer hookup. But he was talking about a 7-way, and I'm going to be kind of embarrassed to say this, guys, but I didn't even know what a 7-way was at the time. Well, needless to say, when we got there, Danny got out of the car right away and said, you're not ready for a trailer. And that was quite a shock. He said, we can rig it, but we're going to have you run around town and find some parts, and then we'll get it running for you. So that's part of the reason we ended up spending the night in Cedar City, but not in an Airbnb. We'd be introduced to an amazing hotel, which would actually turn out to become our home for quite a long time, and we didn't quite know it. But we'll get to that in a minute. I would like to introduce you guys to what was affectionately known as the Ballena for the longest time, and then became known as the Tiny Wanderer in its later time. This is in the middle of those trailers. That is the Ballena. She is a 6x12 Wells Cargo 2020 Fast Track. And we're going to continue on with the story here. We knew that we weren't picking her up, so after saying goodbye to Danny and promising to start first thing in the morning, we went to the Abbey Inn. Now, the Abbey Inn is located, I believe, on Freedom Boulevard in Cedar City, Utah. An amazing group of people that work there. Beautiful place. It does fill up on the weekends, but it has a pool, a hot tub, restaurants all around it. Just a great place to relax if you're traveling. As you can see, this is what we were doing. I think we got Applebee's that night. I think Heather got Applebee's that night, and that's just me goofing off. And then we found the hot tub and the pool, and just decided to do some relaxing. After the Muddy Creek adventures, we kind of did. Here, these are censored, guys, just for, obviously for content, but you can see exactly some of the damages that Heather was sustained on the Muddy Creek adventure, but we won't spend a lot of time on those pictures. I just wanted you guys to, stay in the reel and realize that being on a motorcycle can be dangerous, especially when you're lost in the wilderness. Guess there's some more pictures of me settling in. The next morning, we were introduced to what would become known as the famous grab and go breakfast from Abbey Inn, which is basically a burrito, muffins, yogurt, and orange juice. And we were to have this breakfast. I think Heather would have to quote me on that, but I think we probably had over 80 of these breakfasts. So it was quite a few, and we did get tired of them after a while. We didn't even want to eat the burrito. We just wanted the granola and the yogurt. Heather went to the local laundromat to do some much needed laundry from camp, while me and Danny searched for a part to basically convert the trailer into a 7-way, which is what you're seeing here now. These are the parts I ran around Cedar City to find. And as you saw that little blurb back there about COVID-19, keep your distance, we were seeing that everywhere. But anyway, me and Danny got into it, and I remember when I think of the Home Improvement TV show, Danny's like the headless guy. You never see his picture. I do have a picture of Danny somewhere, and when I find it, I will post it to like Instagram or something, because he deserves a shout out instead of just a headless picture. But as you can see, the SUV was packed to the gills with laundry and blankets, and there she is. That is the Ballena hooked up to Maggie, our SUV. and she came in at about 1,300 pounds dry weight, and she was hooked up, and we were ready to go over the mountain, but we had to stop for a celebratory Dairy Queen, where Heather took these pictures of me inside what would become the Tiny Wanderer, right outside of the Dairy Queen there. And in a parking lot. Apparently this is probably a Harbor Freight by the look of it. I think it's a Harbor Freight. Once we got back over the mountain safely with the SUV and the trailer, which I was very new to driving, so it was very interesting going over that mountain, we proceeded to go on another adventure with Little Coo, our trusty dirt bike, but we didn't want to have another Muddy Creek expedition, so we decided to just head into the canyon a little bit. And we came upon just some amazingly beautiful places, some canyons, some rivers. In these pictures of me, you'll see there's pictures of Heather, which looks like she's actually riding the bike. Now, you would think she was just posing for these, but it was actually here that Heather learned to actually ride a dirt bike. I have some video which we'll post later on to social media. You guys will get a kick out of that, watching her try to learn to ride that. It is kind of hilarious, kind of embarrassing, but it's all in good fun. She actually did learn to ride the dirt bike really, really well later on our trip. Well, that's another story. Some more pictures of the canyon. We found a beautiful wash by the river where there was a swing just like hanging there, and it was kind of like a Tuck Everlasting moment, just kind of enjoying the nature, the outdoors. We did go to this one little place real close to our camp called the Belly of the Beast, or the Mouth of the Dragon. What it really was, essentially, folks, is over the years the water had battered the canyons during the floods. So Utah, they burrowed a hole. I believe they burrowed a hole through the mountain to allow the water to pass through. But everyone calls it a dragon's stomach or belly, because if you look at the picture, there's us there. You look at the picture, you can kind of see it's got the ribs on it, and it's quite fascinating. You can walk from one end to the other all the way through, and it is so cool in there. And I mean, the temperature is just beautiful, but you can walk all the way to one end to the other. And I tagged Heather's name on the sandstone. Whether or not it'll stay there, I don't know, but tried to do that. Some more pictures of that. Oh, I think those are our neighbors, the cows. Random picture of the tent. My helmet broke on one of our trips to Orderville, and we had to go to a Mormon-owned hardware store. And we were able to get it fixed, believe it or not. We were able to get it fixed. And they did a good job helping me find the parts I needed to put together. Some more obligatory camp food. Some more pictures of our neighbors. And the next day, I decided I wanted to rig up the Maggie Tap, kind of a permanent 7-way plug, and so I got out the torches and the wires, and so as you can see, this is just a little bit of me connecting all that up. So when people say, hey, do you know how to do this stuff? Yes, actually I do, because I did it by hand, all of it, with a butane torch and some wiring and some solder. And anyway, that's kind of the finished result. That's what it looks like now on Maggie. As I told you, every day, you have to go into the Carmel Junction, and Mount Carmel Junction, and this was me attempting to take 3 bags of ice back. This turned out this would be our last 3 bags of ice, and you've never experienced quite as much excitement until you've driven with 3 bags of ice on your back. So there's Heather digging in the chest. This, I'm going to stop here real quick. It's kind of funny. While I was exploring some of the abandoned campsites, I found a Home Depot bucket. And on the Home Depot bucket was a legit toilet seat. It looked like it had been crafted to go over the Home Depot bucket. Well, needless to say, there was stuff in the Home Depot bucket. Someone had left the whole contraption behind. Now, Heather, this whole trip, had been, digging cat holes and with a shovel, and I felt kind of bad for her. So I was like, Heather could probably use this. I knew the guy wasn't coming back for it, obviously. He left it for a reason. So this is a picture of Heather after I told her what was up the way. She said, I'm not going to use that. About an hour later, I heard some rustling, and I looked through the woods, and I saw Heather coming back with her prize. And you can kind of see some of it sitting there. And this censored picture is me actually legit testing it out. Let me tell you guys, it's actually not that bad. If you ditch the bucket and just keep the seat, which we have in the Tiny Wanderer right now, it's pretty cool. Here's a couple pictures that are out of place for some reason. This is just a Mormon child practicing bull roping, it looks like. And this is in the hardware store. And then, of course, we have the, obligatory food at camp. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here because this next piece is a slide showing what's coming up next. We needed some serious rest and relaxation, guys. We had the trailer. We knew that we could pull all the stuff from the SUV in the trailer. Heather could go on the trip. We were really excited about it. So where did we go to celebrate? Well, we went to one of my favorite places in the whole world. We went to Zion National Park. Now, before you get all excited and go, oh, I know Zion, it's so beautiful. Let me tell you, we visited Zion during the pandemic. And that was a much different experience than anything I'd ever experienced before. Anyway, that'll be next time, part 7, when we go to Zion for a nice long day of rest and relaxation. What would we find out there? What adventures would we get up to? What would we see and who would we meet? Tune in next time for part 7, Trip to Zion, right here on the Tiny Wanderland. I'll see you guys next time. Stay safe.